with correctly isolated watersheds, the next step is to place culverts that will be sized automatically by the program based on the rational or SES method, whichever is selected. And we will proceed to do that right now by the rational method as currently selected. So we will pick up P3D and do this simple culvert placement. It will default to a concrete culvert, and we can change it to corrugated metal or other materials. But you select the create culvert or storm pipe. It can also be a rectangular concrete pipe. So we're going to pick the low point within the pond on the uphill side. And as we move across, you can see the slope. If it's positive, you're going uphill. So we need to move to a downhill slope. You can also see it in the upper left of your screen. So we are downhill roughly 0.5%. We'll place it. If you want to go exactly 0.5% downhill, you can type in negative 0.5. And there you have the pipe. It is concrete, and it is sized at 36 inches based on this particular storm event. And we can similarly drain this pond and do the same thing over here. We have to go a long way to get a negative slope. We'll track along the base of that, and we don't have to go this far as long as we're negative. We'll move uphill, and there's a negative 1% slope, 245 feet. We can change that to exactly negative 1. And we have these two accomplished. Now, we can also put in the small pipes that would drain the roadside ditch and do this in a similar way. For that, pay attention to the setting when you click the storm return period. The setting up here, compound culvert discharge. The alternative is culvert discharge additive. Now the compound will consider the time of travel and reduce the potential size of the downstream culvert pipe based on recognizing that it is taking time to get there, and the additive amount is less based on the time of travel than if you just added both of them to each other in terms of the peak flow. That would be the additive method. This is more conservative. You might get a larger pipe at the lower locations. Let's do the one that's less conservative first, and quickly put in our two pipes. They're going to be small. We'll use that snap, and be sure we run downhill. That is basically the slope of the road. It's paralleling the road at negative 6% approximately. And that is a little 9-incher, and then the one below it will do the same thing. And we'll put him in, and he should also be about 6% if we parallel the road. There it is. Drop him in right there. And he was a 15-incher, so he's getting a little bit of a effect from the upstream pipe. Now, if we were to delete that fourth pipe with the delete option, go back to our setting here and change it to additive, might we get an 18-incher, or will 15 still work? This is the more conservative approach. They just add both peak flows. Let's see what this one does. If I do about a 6% slope as before, there we'll drop them in. And it has gotten larger, as you can see. So there's proof that this setting does have an effect, whichever one you do select. But the procedure for placing culvert pipes is very simple. And the next step might be to add head walls to these pipes.